Have you ever heard a local legend so creepy, so specific, that you couldn't help but wonder if it was true? Today, we re-diving into one of the most unsettling tales I've ever come across, the story of the Collector of Eyes. This isn't just a campfire story. It's a piece of history that blurs the line between morbid folklore and a chilling reality. Our story begins not with a ghost, but with a box. In the late 20th century, during renovations of an old courthouse in Europe, a building that had stood for centuries, workers made a startling discovery. Hidden beneath the floorboards, tucked away in the dark, dusty space below, they found a small, heavy wooden box. It was old, bound in iron, and sealed shut. When they finally managed to pry it open, what they found inside was the stuff of nightmares. Dozens of preserved human eyeballs, each one staring up from the darkness, suspended in a cloudy, yellowish liquid. The discovery sent a shockwave through the community. Who would do such a thing, and why? As historians and local folklorists began to investigate, their research pointed them toward a grim figure from the town's medieval past, a man known only by his gruesome title, the town executioner. This wasn't just any executioner. Local legend had long whispered tales about him, painting a picture of a man who was more than just a public servant carrying out sentences. He was said to be a collector. According to the stories passed down through generations, this executioner had a bizarre and terrifying ritual. After carrying out a sentence, usually by hanging or beheading, he would discreetly perform one final act. He would carefully remove the eyes of the condemned. The legend claimed he believed the eyes held the last image a person saw before death, a final, fleeting glimpse of life. Or perhaps he believed he was capturing a fragment of their soul, a permanent trophy of his grim work. For centuries, this was just a story, a spooky tale told to frighten children and add a dark allure to the town's history. No one took it seriously. It was just folklore, right? But the discovery of that box changed everything. The location was what made it so chilling. The box was found directly beneath the spot where the old courthouse's gallows once stood, the very place where the executioner would have performed his duties. Forensic analysis of the eyeballs was limited due to their age, but experts confirmed they were indeed human. They were preserved using a method consistent with techniques from the late medieval and early modern periods. The sheer number of them, each pair representing a life extinguished, was staggering. It suggested a long and prolific career. Suddenly, the boogeyman of local legend had a very real, very tangible collection. Let's try to step into the world of this executioner for a moment. In medieval times, executioners were shunned figures. They lived on the fringes of society, often ostracized and feared. Their work was essential for the justice system of the time, but it marked them as bringers of death. They were surrounded by it, their hands literally stained by it. Can you imagine the psychological toll? Living in isolation, your only social interactions being the final, terrifying moments of a person's life. Some historians speculate that this collection might have been a coping mechanism, a grotesque way of processing the immense psychological burden of his profession. By taking the eyes, was he trying to assert some form of power or control over the death he was forced to administer? Or was it something darker? A form of pathological obsession, where each pair of eyes became a personal memento, a validation of his existence. Another theory suggests a more pseudoscientific motive. In that era, the lines between science, medicine, and superstition were incredibly blurry. Some natural philosophers and early anatomists were fascinated by the human body and particularly the eye, seen as the window to the soul. It's possible the executioner wasn't just a monster, but was perhaps supplying a clandestine anatomist, or was even conducting his own morbid studies, trying to unlock the secrets of sight and life itself. But the folklore offers the most haunting explanation. The townspeople believed he wasn't just collecting eyes, but the last moments of the people he executed. They said that on moonless nights he would take out the jars, line them up, and stare into them, reliving the final seconds of terror, despair, or defiance of each person. The legend says he was searching for something, a glimpse of the afterlife, a sign of redemption, or maybe just a reflection of his own damned soul. The story became a cautionary tale. Crime leads to the gallows, and your very eyes could become part of the executioner's eternal collection. The discovery of the box didn't just confirm a legend, it gave it a horrifying physical form. It transformed a ghost story into a true crime chronicle. The courthouse was renovated and life went on, but the story of the Collector of Eyes is now told with a new, chilling authority. The box and its contents are now housed in a local museum, a silent, multi-eyed testament to one of history's darkest and most personal secrets. What's truly fascinating is how this story sits at the intersection of history, psychology, and folklore. It's a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are not supernatural creatures, but real people, driven by motives we can barely begin to comprehend. The stories we dismiss as mere legends can sometimes have roots in a truth that is far stranger and far more disturbing than fiction. So what do you think? Was the executioner a heartbroken man driven mad by his profession? A budding scientist with a dark curiosity? Or simply a monster who enjoyed collecting trophies from his victims? The eyes can't tell us their secrets. They just stare back, leaving us to wonder about the man who collected them and the stories they hold. This tale is a powerful reminder to look closer at the local legends in your own area. You never know what chilling truths might be buried just beneath the surface. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the story of the Collector of Eyes. If you found this as fascinating and unsettling as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the dark side of history. Let me know your theories in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.